The Biden administration talks a lot about environmental justice, but it's all based on the premise that Black and other minority communities are disproportionately vulnerable to environmental threats like climate change. Derek, I'm really interested to learn how you suffer differently from climate change than I do.
I really don't. But I think what they should be talking about is the energy injustice that comes out of this administration. And it's injustice right now to what they're doing to America when you start talking about energy. And so under this environmental justice that the administration talks about, under that guise, they're trying to actually shut down the oil and gas industry. And when that happens, obviously it has an impact on America, and it causes energy poverty. And I talk about energy poverty all the time. Energy poverty occurs when individuals and families are unable to afford basic heating and electric needs, and gas right now. And that's not a Black issue. It's an American issue. And if we can resolve the energy problem in this country right now, and you take a look at gas right now, gas is at $1.30 more than what it was last year this time. If you have natural gas and you're heating your home with natural gas is up 31% from what it was this time last year. Propane is up 54%. And if we can solve America's energy problem, we can solve a lot of the problems in the Black community. And as Horace has referred to many, many times, if it's good for Black America, it's good for America.
Horace, what do you think about the energy justice or environmental climate issues being a race issue?
Well, absolutely. Once again, just as Donna said earlier, what the left does is, in the name of Black Americans, they push forward a radical agenda that's unpopular, and they hope that Americans are going to sit back and keep their mouth closed, because this is really about racial equity. We asked Black Americans in a survey how much would they be willing to spend extra for a gallon of gas in order to save the planet from global warming. We asked them if they'd be willing to spend a dollar. We got 0% of Black Americans saying they'd be willing to spend $1 extra a gallon. We asked them about 50 cents. We got 0% of Black Americans saying this. You know what? We didn't actually get a large number until we said 3 cents. And that only got about a third of Black Americans. Here's the truth. What Derek is talking about, energy poverty, is created when government goes after a solution to a problem that we don't understand or recognize as real. Black America, white America, brown America does not buy into the so-called global climate hysteria. And that's why in our blueprint, one of the things that we advocate is a temporary reduction in the taxes that are being collected on gasoline. That's why we're saying that there should be a regulatory assessment. If a policy being pushed forward by this administration or any other is going to have a disproportionate impact on working class people and minorities, that policy be pulled back. We're really troubled by the use of a policy called climate change in the name of racial equity that isn't supported, isn't explained, isn't justified, but will definitely be destructive.
And Donna, what are you hearing from your members? Because it's very easy, and I think Democrats do this a lot. They say, Black people struggle with getting IDs, or Black people are suffering under energy poverty, or Black people are doing all this. But to your point, it's always the white liberals that are saying it. What is the Black community actually saying about environmental justice or energy poverty?
There was a survey, and it said, where does climate change fit in terms of importance for the Black community? It was 25.
Out of how many?
Out of 25. No one cares about environmental justice because they don't believe the narrative. But this is the agenda that you get when white liberals tell Black people what they need. And that's always the narrative. They're always setting an agenda for Black people and telling people to fall in line or else. And what's more troubling is Black liberals go along with the program. They don't care that they're hurting African Americans.
That's right.
And they're always at the forefront telling Black people, be quiet, it's okay, we'll get your turn, just be patient, we can't do it all ourselves. You know, they always talk about poverty, right? And their war on poverty, but it's all about raising income. But they never say that every policy that white liberals put forward increases the cost of living expenses.
That's right.
And it increases it on at a greater amount than the incomes rise. There was a research done in North Carolina that said that if they could give every black person a brand new $100,000 Tesla for the amount of money they were spending on environmental justice.
That's astonishing.
And listen to this, electric vehicles, the demographic for an individual who can buy a electric vehicle, white male making over $143,000. It doesn't matter how many charging stations you put in the black community, they can't afford to buy the products.
Yes.
But in the minds of white liberals, they don't get it. They think if you just build a charging station, everybody's going to have the car.
And that's why
Or they don't care. They're doing it for other reasons.
There are charging stations in D.C. If you have a Tesla, you wouldn't dare stop the charge in that place.
That's probably a very good point. All right, after the break, we'll talk about the negative effects critical race theory can have on the black community. Stay with us. We'll be right back.